In the summer of 1986, pro wrestling didn't just ride the wave of the 80s boom, it tried to outmuscle it. And at the heart of that mad dash to the top was a single promotion, Jim Crockett Promotions. No pay-per-view, no YouTube, no sponsors, just 13 mega events in 33 days, in 13 different cities, in stadiums that sometimes dwarfed the crowds and featured more blood than most horror films. Welcome to the Great American Bash 1986, a wild, beautiful and borderline reckless chapter in wrestling history.
13 stadium shows in a month? Huh, that's not a tour. That's a cry for help.
Jim Crockett Promotions, a proud member of the National Wrestling Alliance, had never been bigger. In 1986 alone, it grossed over $21 million from ticket sales, the vast majority from house shows, not pay-per-view.
In modern terms, that's over $50 million, all from people buying seats, not merchandise or streaming.
Night after night, they packed the houses, town to town. That's how we did it.
So basically, it was Uber for fists, just bodies and seats and blood on the mat.
The Great American Bash was the brainchild of Dusty Rhodes, a man who was not only the top babyface in the company, but also its head booker. What began in 1985 as a single mega event was expanded in 1986 into a full-blown national tour of stadium shows spanning the South and East Coast.
Dusty said, look, let's take it on the road, baby. So we did.
Because when you're bleeding money, why not bleed everywhere?
Each show was a mix of wrestling and spectacle, fireworks, country concerts, skydivers, and lots of blood. The core of the tour? One idea, Ric Flair would defend the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at every stop. Each city got its own main event. Each show was its own chapter. And Flair was the thread holding it all together.
He was a touring world champion in the truest sense.
He was also bleeding in more zip codes than the Postal Service.
On February 2nd, 1986, Crockett Promotions, directly or through NWA affiliates, ran 3 major shows across North America, with a combined attendance of nearly 70,000 fans. And it wasn't even a weekend pay-per-view.
That's not a wrestling day, that's a spiritual awakening.
People just needed to be there.
It was cultural saturation at its peak.
Not every Bash show was a winner. Philadelphia's Veterans Stadium was massive, but the crowd looked lost. RFK Stadium in DC had just 7,000 in a 50,000-seat venue. And in Memphis, the Liberty Bowl hosted fewer than 1,000 fans.
They should have called it the Great American Echo Tour.
They didn't partner with Jerry Lawler in Memphis, and it showed.
Dusty's genius was giving everybody a reason to fight. Even mid-carders were caught in feuds. Every match felt like the middle of a war.
There was always heat, always payoff.
Everyone hated everyone on purpose.
That's why the fans believed it.
And the Bash wasn't just an event. It was a release valve for a year's worth of tension.